Fifth week of this lecture series, and this week we are discussing tuning in through methods using ancestral information, astrology, symbolism, numerology, tarot, pendulum, dreams, our first eye, nature, and etc. These are all tools, and there's many more, but I'm just naming the main ones that are used. Of course, other spiritualists, lecturers, any way that you can tune in. But nature is a big key. Nature is a big key. Watch nature, because whatever is happening in nature is telling you what's happening on a larger scale. We are being bombarded with spiritual avenues to tune in. It's only a matter of when or how you want to access this information. The last gate to overcome is the gate of fear. We have finally opened the gate of recognition, now only to confront those things we have been programmed to fear. Don't do that, we've been told emphatically by the religionists. But the spirits have a way of opening itself to us whether we access it or not. Because that is our ancestors trying to give us the truth of the situation. They inform us through our dreams, through direct contact, visual contact, audio, and even smells. Experiences that we would tab as weird, strange, or coincidental. Once you sense a vibratory change within you, know that there is a presence available and that is there for a reason. That reason usually will have to do with your destiny from a universal perspective. I know this is a lot to understand because everything that we've been programmed to fear, we now have to start to trust. Go ahead and open Pandora's box. It's full of many secrets and mysteries that is yours to dabble with in discovery of the occult. The occult only means what is hidden. This is the information that must be revealed for spiritual enlightenment and power. It is a wonderful time, and as soon as you break through the guilt, the doubt, and last but not least the fear, you will enter a world that our ancestors knew. There is nothing to fear. What is this world's system's detriment is our healing. We have been taught to fear the very things that are gifts of wonder. Try it all, anywhere, anytime, any method. Any spiritual tool that you can access, use it. But we all have a unique journey to discover. Couples have an advantage when you combine your knowledge, but your experience will also be unique. You can work together, however, in discovery of what you do as you reach out to each other spiritually. As you begin to exercise your spiritual muscle, don't get discouraged. Everything is a lesson, even the ones that don't appear to pan out. We have to get in tune with the spiritual flow, which is more than likely contrary to what you reason should be happening. Sometimes we get it, but we don't get it. We continue to look at our rewards from a physical perspective. The more we operate in the spiritual mold, the more we will begin to understand the difference. The spirit will answer to our motive according to our spiritual intent. Our job is to recognize the spiritual vehicle versus a physical car. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, we have been programmed to think on a physical level so that when we get a spiritual answer, we totally miss it. We're now being schooled on how to become whole, and that takes time and it takes practice. So don't get discouraged. It's not going to happen overnight because there also has to be some deprogramming. As soon as you make it personal, it is adverse to the spiritual. We all have a personal responsibility to heal Mother Earth. That's as personal as it gets. But when you tune in from that perspective, your personal needs will be met beyond your physical expectations. We've been putting the cart before the horse. It must manifest on a spiritual or collective level before it will make a physical appearance. Stop looking for physical validation. By this, you are still exhibiting your fears on a personal level when you are preoccupied with evidence of a physical gain. The question to ask yourself is, Am I being motivated from a viewpoint of a personal or collective reasoning? If the latter is true, then you will receive, the answer you will receive will surpass your physical expectations, and you may not recognize its fulfillment. Accept your spiritual responsibilities as it opens up to you, and the universe will answer to your personal needs. Trust in that. Continue your spiritual work, and you will continue to grow in knowledge and strength. The more confident you become, the more powerful you become, and it never stops growing. Look for it every day, every hour, and every minute. We've been attending to our physical needs first and trying to force spiritual participation. And when our spirit's grown at us, we throw it back into Pandora's box. Okay? Then let's see. The results are we end up worse off than ever, and then we wonder, why me, God? You are God, and you created this whole mess. Don't be putting it off on some external God in the sky to help you. Take off that veil that someone else has put on for you. How else would a God be trapped but by its own power, confounded, stupid to its own reality? If it doesn't happen physically, realize it's because your motives are physical. Use every possible spiritual tool to discover the spiritual motives, and then you will be working for the universe, and the universe benefits are extremely rewarding. You will find yourself expressing, I couldn't have designed it better myself. Learn how to use your subconscious, which is the part of you that is ingrained, automatic, versus your conscious rationing and reasoning based on criteria that are false. Remember, the spiritual world is the real world. It's the physical world that is the illusion. That's right.
Matrix.
That's right. Matrix. Okay? So, it's at that point. What I want to do, though, is go back and talk a little more about setting up your altar, because we really didn't get a chance to cover that properly last time. And that was supposed to be the topic. But I just want to go over the fact that you know you want the four elements represented on your altar. You want the water, you want the earth, the fire, and the air. Okay? You can use any, like I was telling you last week, I have an ancestral altar. I have because I have my tools that belong to my mother. I have goblets that belong to my mother, and I have candle holders that belong to my father, who have both made the transition. So that's a good access, that's a good tool. Use incense for the air. Of course, the candles represent the fire. You can use rocks, earth, leaves, anything of substance for the earth. And then for the water, of course, you know, I have water on my altar, goblets of water. But you can also use oils, you know, on your candles, and oils in your rituals. What you need to do is, this is what why I'm teaching you more symbolism rather than astrology, because once you get to understand what symbolizes what, then you'll know what energies to appeal to, you know, to enact your ritual. So we've all went over all of it, the fire, the air, the water, the earth, you know, what signs represent, what elements, you know, what those characteristics represent. So once you set up the tools, in a place, a nice corner, a nice private place would be best. Nice private place where you can go in, where you can feel like you're just, you know, where you're free, just to be yourself. And the thing is that you're going to have to let your spirit guide you. I'm not going to be able to do anything but give you the tools, but you have to be tuning in and understanding when it is that your spirit is initiating you and how it's trying to guide you to do what it needs for you to do in order to perform that ritual. I usually will time mine with the new moon, which is planting seeds. That's the time to plant your seeds. That's the time to write down whatever it is that you want to see materialize, and do a ritual with that. And then you will see those things grow in your life. You do that during the new moon. And whatever sign that the sun is in, the moon will be in on the new moon, okay? Right now the sun is in Gemini, so the new moon was in Gemini. And that means that I would gear my ritual toward things that deal with what Gemini energy represents. Gemini is an air sign, so that means mental. If you're trying to communicate with someone, if you're trying to negotiate something, if you're trying to come to an understanding about something, you know, communications, all these things that Gemini represent would be what you would gear your wish list toward. You understand? Because that's the prevalent energy at the time. That's the energy you want to tap into, okay? And always start your rituals, of course, paying homage to the ancestors. And then I always, you know, pay homage to each, like they have different, like you have for the elements. What I'll do is face the directions of the elements as it pertains to, you know, like the north is fire, or Michael, the archangel Michael. So when it's in the fire, then that's the direction you would face. That's the direction you would start your ritual off. And then you have to the south is Earth, or Ariel, the archangel Ariel. Those are earth things. All the things, and then you look at the signs. All the things that the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So everything that are represented under those earth signs would be the method, or be what you would look in to tune into when you're dealing with the earth energy. See? So you look at the signs to see what element it falls under, and those are all the things that you can use, or that's where you would go to look for whatever it is, what type of ritual you're trying to perform. A circle. Circle is always important, you know. Always find a way to make a circle, you know.
What was east and west?
East is, let me see, I think east is, yeah, Raphael, that's air. And west is Gabriel, that's water. And what I do, and talking about the circle, a circle is always important that you form a circle. What I will do is I will start off my ritual in the element, like right now, it would be the east because we're in Gemini. The sun is in Gemini, which is an air sign. So I would start the ritual in the east, and then I would move around in a circle for each element until I come full circle back to the east. But then I'll go again in the opposite direction. Because remember, we want to become full and whole. It's all about balancing opposites. So when you do it in one direction, you're doing it in the physical. And then when you reverse it, you're doing the spiritual. So you're making it whole, okay? So when you just start understanding these spiritual principles, then you'll start being able to put them together and understand how they work and how you use them in your ritual. And we're going to go over more of that type of information. But I did want to touch up on, you know, those things about rituals because I didn't think I got a chance to do a thorough enough job on that last time. Okay, now I want to get more into the tools so that we can start tuning in, so that we can start understanding when and how it's time to do a ritual. See? Because what I keep telling you is that your spirit is going to be the guide of that. Only your spirit can guide you on that. Yes?
I just want to go back one moment. Is there a specific time that you do the rituals, like early in the morning?
I usually will time it with the moon phase. Like when the new moon will be at a specific time, just like the full moon will be at a specific time. So I like to time mine around that. If I do a ritual other than for the moon phase, it'll be for a specific purpose. And usually, like I'm telling you now, that's when I've been tuned in by the spirits to do that, okay? And then it'll guide me on when and how to do that ritual, see? That's why the lesson now is tuning in, because this is what we got to start doing so that we, you know, there's no setting anything but what comes from the ancestral spirits to guide you, see? And the more we start understanding how to access that information, the more we'll know when it's prompting us to do these things. See? I've literally had it pull me by the hand, you know, just, because I can feel the literal touch. Everybody has their own method. That's just it. I had a roommate, she could see things. I couldn't see things, but I can feel them. I can hear them. And I can feel them when they touch me. I can feel their presence. See? And probably all of you got some way, you know, if you take the time and